You heard me? You heard me? Now I ain't talking shit to talk what you heard about me. If it ain't about God, then it ain't about me. I was made by the king, that's the king in me. I know the haters only hate words they can't. Now go ahead, know what you like and reply to block. He holding me up high to sit on top of the rock. Although my enemies surround me, shooting my fire. I'm a fly, how they think they can do my side. Look here, you mad about this and I'm just scratching the surface. I'm telling cool savages to get to my first. When you get it, when you really go so hard, you better what you do. I'm mama told me go keep it up. You go up on the line. You be out. I mean, hard in the flesh. I mean, why you saying when you hate well, you're moving in the world. The one I can go, can't be slow, keep me on my toes, so I go wherever he goes. Yeah, now he know how in the righteous, no, and I don't care if you don't like me. So I came to take what's mine, didn't come to make friends, but always my time. You heard me? Yeah. Yeah. Okay. You heard me? Yeah. You heard me, nigga? You heard me? You heard me? Yeah. You heard me, nigga? You heard me? You heard me? You heard me? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. You heard me? You heard me? Yeah.
All right, it's your boy, comedian-edwin-douglas, and you're on, you heard me, first radio talk show. That's right, we're on Spotify.com, iHeartRadio, as well as Google Podcasts and Spreaker.com. We have a great show coming up, great episode, and a very gifted, talented guest will be on the show. But before I do that, let me bring in my co-host, mr-motivator. How you doing?
Hey, I'm doing great. How are you guys?
I'm doing wonderful, man. Doing wonderful. Now, before we actually bring in our guest, allow me to introduce our DJ sidekick, Uncle Ben. How you doing, man? Uncle Ben, I'm ready for the show. Uncle Ben. Okay, Mr. Motivator, he sound like he ready?
Hey, I'm ready to hear some good tunes, Uncle Ben. Are you ready for it?
Uncle Ben, I'm ready for our guest on the show. Uncle Ben. Well, I'll tell you what. Before we bring in our guest, I want y'all to get a little flavor, and then you'll know what he's all about, and we'll just go from there.
Watch this short video.
Don't y'all go away. We'll be right back.
Of uninterrupted listening. I need to remember it. I forgot the first chorus.
Thanks for watching. Click here for more information. Now, enjoy the next 30 minutes of ad-free music.
Shut down the computer, it's time to leave work. About to hit the town with a happy hour on alert. You have warm eyes, do you mind if I sit by your side? I was wondering if I could interest you in the ultimate joyride. There'll be no pressure, I'll be on my best behavior. I believe that every moment in life should be treated like fine wine. If you be rushed, it has to simmer, and then be served later. You are very lovely, and your name is? It's a pleasure to meet you. I am Zemill. And might I add that song you're wearing has hypnotic appeal.
I got what you want, got what you need. So you're so free, come along the road with me. If you want a good time, come take this ride. So you're so free, come along the road with me.
When I walked up, we were just strangers, but the more we talked, there must have been an arranger. Because I see you like walking on the edge, and I live to have my imagination fed. So let's leave this place and go somewhere time is erased. Whatever your flavor, whatever your taste, with the snap of my finger, it will arrive with haste. Now, I know you've heard similar things before, but I promise you after tonight, you'll want for nothing more. So come with me and we'll explore every fantasy you ever wished for.
I got what you want, got what you need. Say you're so free, come along and roll with me. If you want a good time, come take this ride. Say you're so free, come along and roll with me. I got what you want, got what you need. Say you're so free, come along and roll with me. If you want a good time, come take this ride. Say you're so free, come along and roll with me.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm putting out the red carpet for this guest. This song, not only just a song artist, he's a poetic jazz artist from Dallas, Texas. Please welcome to the show, Zemill. How you doing, bro?
Good afternoon. How we doing, Edwin? How we doing, man?
Doing great, man. I don't think you remember you and I was on the same lineup, I think, 3 years ago for Athlete Change for Dennis. Fundraiser.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I remember that. Great show, man. You did a great job.
I haven't forgotten anyone. God, get things in order, get things lined up, and I follow you. I've always been aware where you were, what you do, and who you are, and I believe deep in my heart that you're a very gifted, talented artist, poetic jazz artist. Yes, I do. Yes.
Yeah, yes. Well, thank you so very much, Mr. Motivator, DJ. Thank you guys for having me on your show. I'm honored to be here, and I appreciate what you do and everything that you've been doing and been looking at things that's happening in your life. So continued success to you as well, brother. Outstanding job. I appreciate you.
Yes, thank you. Let's do this, allow our listeners get an opportunity to know about you, know something about you. When you was in high school and before you turned 18 years old, what was your hobby?
Oh, man, really, back in the day, it was all about football and basketball and track. And then we sang in and on talent shows, and the biggest thing outside of sports was writing. I was writing from an early age, all the way from elementary school. So a hobby, other than the sports, was actually writing, whether it was poems or lyrics or songs. It was always I've been blessed to be creative. That is a gift from God, and I'm thankful and blessed to have it. And so writing has always been a very, very big passion of mine.
Wow. I bet you made all A's in elementary, junior high, and by the time you got to high school, the women already heard all about you, man.
Man, come on now. We talking about the popularity thing now, but no, I was blessed to do well in school. I did do well, and I was very fortunate and gifted with a little bit of knowledge, and now as the years have passed, some wisdom. So yeah, school was good. I enjoyed high school. For any of those young people out there, man, that's the time of your life. High school, that's what's happening. And then back in our time, it was just a blast. It was a party. It was fun every day. But we got down and got business done. We did homework. We played outside. We did all those crazy and wonderful things, and we just enjoyed ourselves. So high school was a great time for me.
Oh, great, Mr. Motivator.
Hey, Mr. Zemill, that's a good question. The fact that you enjoyed school, were you always creative? Were you the guy that the teachers wanted to put in the plays, or were you the guy that did the skits in the classroom, or were you one of those guys that found another way to create attention?
You know what? Good question. Both good questions by both of you. I was never the guy who sought the attention for the sake of attention. I did what I did based on inspired moments. I did the talent shows when the talent shows came up. When there were volunteers or people that they were looking to be on talent shows, I volunteered to be on the talent shows. Wow. I did it because it was something that I enjoyed. And one of my claims to fame in high school was I wrote the class song for our class for the Franklin Delano Roosevelt Mustangs class. I won't tell you what year, so we won't get into what age. But I will tell you that I wrote the class song, and that was one of the highlights of my young life. But no, in high school, it was all, again, about having a good time and the attention. The popularity and all those kind of things just kind of came with it, because when you remember back in the day, the old school days, if you had an afro, you were cool. If you played sports, you were cool. If you sang or did something, you were cool. So it was just a matter of semantics back then. It was just that's just the way it was. So I just kind of fell into that category because I did all of those things.
Wow. Also, I loved your album, your video. The music was just amazing. It was so cool, and listening to your voice, man, you got a great voice, and the way you featured a lot of the businesses and restaurants. Then what really grabbed me, you had a statement in there, and it read like, if you don't step out there on faith, nothing is going to happen. That was very impressive. How did you come up with all of that?
Again, it's a gift, and one of the things that I do when I write, I will tell you that very seldom, very, very seldom over the years do I sit down and I try to think about what it is that I'm going to say. I only write when I'm inspired, when the feeling comes to me, when the music comes to me, when the melodies come to me. And I never let ego or pride or my head or arrogance or any of those things get in the way. If you know me, you'll know that I'm pretty laid back and pretty down to earth, because once you let yourself get in the way of the writing, of the inspiration, and you get in the way of where it comes from, then it's all about you. But when it comes from inspired motivation, Mr. Motivator, when it comes from a different place, then you know the purity of it is good, and what you have to do is just simply try to convey the message. So I feel that I'm an instrument that's been commissioned to inspire and convey motivated thought. And so if I get it right, then it has a chance to be good. And so I try not to mess up the thought, because sometimes you can mess it up. Sometimes the thought it will come to you and it'll be something really nice, but because you try to do something else with it, or sometimes you just forget, before you can actually get it to pen, paper, or to put it in a machine, you lose it. But what I try to do is to try to get the inspired thought right, and was very blessed as far as the music is concerned and the composition, the timeless, the intimate pleasures, in the mix CD and all of the music and things that I've done. Very blessed to have some incredible musicians and people who worked with me in order to make the project possible, and very excited about all the projects because some incredible people contributed to making it happen.
Wow.
What we're going to do is take a quick commercial break, and don't you guys go away too far. You heard me? This is the boy, comedian Edwin Douglas. Are you looking for a car? Do you have bad credit? Don't you worry about a thing. All you need is $500, and your job is your credit. That's right. Log on AutoCityCredit.com. Right, AutoCityCredit.com. And by the way, when you get there, tell them your boy from You Heard Me First Radio Talk Show told you all about it. You heard me? Now go get your car. All right, we're back. I'm your host, comedian Edwin Douglas, along with my co-host, mr-motivator, and of course, our DJ sidekick, the one and only Uncle Ben. And we have a very gifted, talented, poetic jazz artist, Zemill. And before we went on a break, Mr. Motivator was asking where he get inspiration from, and he just keeping it 100 and keeping it real, so people know that God put it in him. Speaking on that, who did you look up to, or did anyone out there add a little more motivation to make you a little more creative in your work?
Another good question, guys. I'm going to be perfectly honest, and I don't want this taken out of context, but I really, really was inspired by people like Stevie Wonder, love the work of George Benson, all of the old groups who really sang and performed music in a way that's done differently from today. That's not a knock or a shot. It's just that it was a different time and it was a different era. But one of the things that you might find surprising about me is that I really did not have what you would call, quote-unquote, heroes. I had people that I admired, and like I said, Stevie Wonder, I would say above all, was probably as a writer, simply because of the content, the phraseology, and some of the versatility of what he did. I've always admired his writing overall. So if you were to pin me down on one person and say, who did you like, it was Stevie Wonder. And, there were great poets and that I looked at, Langston Hughes and certain people. But I really, really didn't have someone that I idolized, but I had a ton of people that I simply admired because I always felt, even from a very young age, and I got this from a teacher who told me, and I believed her. She told me when I was very young, she said, you have an opportunity to be somebody. And I believed that. And I believed that it was up to me to be the best that I could be. And I've had some downfalls and some things, and we've all made some mistakes. But the greatest inspirer in my life, as I look back on just in general for everything that I had to do in my life, was my mother. Miss Shirley. And my mother was phenomenal. And she said that I could do whatever I wanted to do. And she taught me. She inspired me. She motivated me. She encouraged me to write, to perform, to play, to the school, the music. I got a full scholarship for SMU to play football. So she was a driving force behind everything that I am in my life, the work ethic, all of that. Writing, all of that inspiration came from my mother.
I grew up here in Dallas, and a lot, like you said, back in the 70s and 80s, a lot of our parents was educators. If they wasn't in the education, then they exposed their education to their families and communities and the churches, and they believe in stepping out and motivating and inspiring the kids in the community. And I can hear it all inside of you when I met you, your performance, the way you carry yourself, and I've been following you. I can tell that you have been well taught, well groomed in your journey and believing. I've seen you out different nightclubs and just doing you, not your thing, but doing you. And I think that's great. And my next question to you is, while you're in your journey, this show here, we ask a lot of our guests, what are some of the trials and tribulations that you may have gone through while you was in your journey, while you was doing your craft and your gift, that made you a better person, a better man today?
Oh, another good question. And shout out to Uncle Ben, too. The DJ, I wanted to make sure that I mentioned him as well. But in direct answer to your question, I'll tell you, the losing my mother, she was 49 years old. That was probably, without a doubt, one of the 5 most devastating things that ever happened to my life. She had a heart attack at 49, and losing her was a very, very difficult thing. The second thing was finding out that I had colon cancer. And what you find when you, it doesn't matter your faith or the depth of your faith or those kinds of things. No one is really ever prepared to have that conversation with that doctor. There's no preparation for that conversation with that doctor when they says, okay, the test came back, that you have cancer. And so that was a very, very challenging thing, because at that time I had just decided that I was going to I started really pursuing the music, the performing, the writing, the books, and all those kinds of things. And then right in the middle of all of that, I get this news. But fortunately, once again, I was blessed, highly favored, that we caught the cancer early. It was in a spot to where it was not overly invasive, and the humility and the humbleness that you get from understanding that you are not immortal. And when you're young, and sometimes in life we take it for granted that we're going to wake up every day. We take for granted that things are going to come our way. But you have to understand that in the trials, in your journey, there are going to be trials. And in this, what you have to do is to continue to move and to believe that your vision is real. And when nobody else believes in it yourself, no human believes in it, because you've been commissioned and it's been given to you from a different place, from God, then you move forward. And I don't want to make the people think that I'm some holier than thou person and all of that, and they have not done things that I wished I could take back, and we've done that. But my understanding is that I do understand, believe, and know where the gifts comes from. And the journey was made better because I understood where the light came from. And there's been some ups and downs, and those 2 things were probably the biggest trials, the grind and being an independent. And so I thank you again for allowing me to have a voice on your show, and thank you for what you do and all you guys are doing, because independent artists have a different trial. They have a different journey because they don't have the money and the machine behind them. So that is probably the third thing that's the most difficult thing to deal with, because you have to promote yourself every single day.
Speaking on promoting and marketing, I tell a lot of people you have to wear all the hats these days. And a lot of times people come to me and say, how you do it? What is it that you're doing I see you every season that you're elevating yourself. And the first thing I tell them, I talk to God first. He's the owner and my manager. The second thing I tell people, if you're into music, go back and look at James Brown movies. Go back and look at Bobby Brown. All these movies that we see, they're showing us how they got started, how they had a setback. They're telling you how they've been robbed. Even the Jackson 5, before they became Michael Jackson, before they became the Jackson. So when God laid hands on man for us to see films and read books, this is part of the work that God put in us so other people can learn. Because you're not the only one. I'm not the only one. Mr. Motivator is not the only one that has a gift that God put inside of all of us. So you hit it on the nail, and like I said, you're a very sharp brother, and you can tell the way you perform, the thing that you say. You're very creative, and I'm following you. Y'all may not see me. I'll walk in a spot and walk out because I'm working. You know, I see everybody.
Absolutely. You know what?
I see everybody.
I have some friends that'll tell you the same thing about me, man. You know, I go into a place. There's some people that I really, really try to support in their events, but I really have about 20 minutes to give you, and then you know, to go in, to make sure I say hello, to make sure you know that I support the things that you do whenever I can, whenever the job allows me to break away. But you know, you got to keep it moving, and you got to understand that you got to stay focused on the journey and the mission and the vision.
Sure. This game that I have was called "Don't Think About It, Just Say It," and I play this game with all my guests. And it's a very simple question. And the name of this game, don't think about it, just say it. All right.
Okay. Okay.
Roosevelt High School or South Oak Cliff High School?
Bell, for sure. No, that's not a question.
Okay. SMU or TCU?
SMU.
All right. And my very last...
alma mater.
All right. And my very last question is, which one of these ladies that you rather give you a lap dance, Cardi B or Nicki Minaj?
Nicki Minaj.
He was thinking hard. He was like, okay.
That was a tough one right there, dude. That was a tough one right there. They might want to edit that whole question there, that whole break right there. But that's
well, Mr. Motivator,
I think, yeah, Mr. Motivator. I don't know about that one right there.
I heard you. That was a trick question there.
That's a trick question.
Before we let you go, tell everyone what we have going on, what's coming up, and just promote yourself and let them know how you can be contacted if they want to book you. Just the mic is yours.
Well, thank you again for your show, Edwin. I appreciate you so very much, Mr. Motivator, DJ Arabis. Thank you guys for having me on the show. The name is Zemill. You can find me at arabiszemill.com, Zemill.com. On Facebook, it's Arabis Zemill on Facebook. It's at Zemill on Twitter. And on Zemill's Jazz on Instagram. So Arabis Zemill on Facebook, at Zemill on Twitter, Zemill's Jazz Experience on Facebook, Zemill's Jazz Experience on Facebook, and Zemill's Jazz on Instagram. Zemill.com or attentionrequired.com the website. Either way, either one will get you there to all of the products, all of the music, and with everything that has to do with Zemill. Secondly, right now I'm in a season because of the job that I do, because of the 9 to 5. I'm doing only private events for the rest of the year. But coming up, got a great opportunity that I can't even announce yet that I may have for a show in January. And then I'm actually going to release The Audacity of Truth. So be on the lookout for The Audacity of Truth coming in February. It's a CD that talks about social conscious. It's about love. It's about life. It's a real life, real smooth and powerful, impactful CD about what's happening in the world. And it's called The Audacity of Truth. And my alter ego, Brother Deep, and Zemill both will be on the CD. So Brother Deep has been a fan favorite at the Black Academy of Arts and Letters, and so that's going to be, I'm really, really excited about doing it. We did parts of it from on the show on the T-Ball Poets and Jazz. Last year I'll be at Poets and Jazz this year again, and I know it's never too early to book your seats and get your seats. Poets and Jazz 2019 at the Black Academy of Arts and Letters. May 31st and June 1st, Poets and Jazz, the Black Academy of Arts and Letters, Poets and Jazz number 5 at the Black Academy of Arts and Letters.
We will be there. We will be there. I marked that on the calendar. I always get email from T-Ball, so I will definitely be there to support you and everybody else as well. And this is your new home. Anytime you want the word to get out or your product or whatever you have going on, feel free to go on, put it on, text me, got my contact, call me. We'll get out there for you. This is your new home.
Man, thank you so much. And again, thank you guys for having me today. I would encourage some of the listeners to go check out some of the music that's on iTunes. The Timeless CD, those people who like smooth jazz, thank you for promoting the music. And to come along and roll with me, went to over 25 different countries. It's played and it's been streamed in over 25 different countries. So thank you for dropping that. So people like Grown and Sexy, Smooth Grooves, it's happening. So appreciate it. Thank you guys for having me.
All right. You take care. We'll keep in touch. You got my number. And anytime you need anything, support, we're here for you.
Appreciate it, my brother. Thank you. Have a great day, guys.
You too. Thank you, Zemill.
You too. Thank you, brother.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that was the one and only Zemill. And what we're going to do, we're going to let Uncle Ben take us around the block. And when we come back, we're going to do Relationship Monday and also Motivation Moment by Mr.
Play me some Marvin Seats or some Marvin Gaye. Call me later because I'm gonna be at home. I'm going out tonight because I feel like it's I can't hold it and get just I did. That's all it's done. Said I got my money and I got my whiskey. I'm not gonna sit around all night long. I'm gonna dance until the morning comes. I'm gonna let all of my troubles go. It's 2 a.m. in the morning and I'm ready to roll. I can't hold it tonight. Yes, I did. That's all. That's all. Said I got my money and I got my whiskey. It comes to nothing. Oh yeah, real sexy. I can't hold it. Yes, I did. Yes, I did. That's all. Said I got my money and I got my whiskey. You see, all you want to do is go out and have a good time. You're not going out and kill anybody, right? All
all you want to do is let go some frustrations because you've had a hard and a hell of a week. Got your money, got your ride. Go ahead on and have yourself a good time. You know what I mean? This is what I'm trying to say. I came out and yes, I did. That's all. Said I got my money and I got my whiskey. Because tonight, oh yeah, yes, I did. That's all. Oh yeah, said I got my money and I got my whiskey. Because tonight, oh yeah. I worked all week, and it's time to take a break. Play me some more sleep, some more than day. You're only late, because I won't be at home. I'm going out tonight, because I want to get it on. I came out and had a good time. I did. That's all. I got my money. And I got my whiskey. Because
all right, it's the boy, comedian Edwin-Douglas, and we are on You Heard Me First Radio Talk Show, and right along with my co-host, mr-motivator, and of course, the one and only DJ sidekick, Uncle Ben has just played some male waiters. You hear that, man? Mr. Motivator?
I heard you, bro.
Did you hear the song that Uncle Ben played? I got my whiskey. Uncle Ben.
Man, I loved it. I loved it.
Uncle Ben.
I loved it.
I got my whiskey.
Man.
See, while y'all doing y'all thing, I'm back here drinking my whiskey. I got my whiskey. Uncle Ben. All right, man. Okay, you don't need to tell folks what else you be doing drinking on the J.O.B. Uncle Ben. You ain't gave no rules and regulations that I can't drink on the job. Uncle Ben. Well, do you remember you was on probation? Uncle Ben. Oh, I'm sorry, comedian Edwin-Douglas. Let me pull this out. You better pull that before you be on probation again. And if I have to put you on probation again, there's a possibility that you will be replaced. Uncle Ben, don't do that. I need my job. I need my job. Uncle Ben, don't do that. All right, now pour it out. And you know better than that. You're not supposed to be drinking on the job. Come on now. Uncle Ben, I'm sorry. Well, your apology is accepted. Don't let me hear or catch you drinking on the job. We have work to do, and we have people looking up to us, and I'm only looking out for you as well. Uncle Ben, thank you. Anything else you want me to do, get back to work. Uncle Ben, I sure will. All right, okay. Any advice you want to give him, Mr. Motivator, about drinking on the job?
No, you told him right, but I should have wondered what was going on. Uncle Ben was seemed to be a little too extra happy.
Yeah, well, I don't. As long as he can abide by our rule on the JOB, on the job, no drinking on the job. That's it. Okay. We have Motivation Moment and Relationship Monday. Yes, we do. And what I am going to do is take this Relationship Monday on a whole nother level. Y'all ready? Uncle Ben. Are you ready? Okay. Older men may be better in terms of pleasing and handling women. In my opinion, older men have had their fair share of both short lives and have been more involved in stable relationships. And this gives them a bit of an advantage when it comes to handling relationships. Their previous experiences have had helped them learn what women generally want and what makes women happy. Not only do they know more in bed, but they also understand women a little bit better. Now, older men tend to be more romantic as well. They have good sense of humor that does not involve shaming their friends or other destructive behavior. Think about it for a second. Think about it, Mr. Motivator and Uncle Ben. Just think about it for a second. Older men have had the time to develop and practice their skills at pleasing women. This experience makes a big difference in comparison of younger men who have not put the work or the same amount of work when it comes to pleasing women. Now, this does not go to all older men, younger women. Allow me to flip the script. There are some older men who do not know or probably cannot position themselves financially or sexually to please younger women. Why? Possibility their health, possibility their finances, possibility they have been distracted and lost hope because what they used to do, they feel like that they can't do it anymore. Well, that's why it is so important that when you are with someone or you have a love partner or dating someone, the word L-O-V-E, love, has to be presented during the dating, the relationship, and understand what love is and who is love. Love is God, and God is love. I talked about that last week, about who is love and what is love. So it is very important. It doesn't matter if it is older man, younger woman, or older woman, younger man. Just keep in mind that both of you must understand why you choose to be together. Either God told you or showed you, or the two of you felt like that you belong to each other. Take the time out to tell one another, hey, good morning, I love you, thank you. Say it again, I love you too. This is the boy comedian Edwin Douglas on Relationship Monday. Okay, Mr. Motivator or Uncle Ben, any input or suggestion on older men, younger women?
I enjoyed it. I just like to ask, why does Uncle Ben have all these young women coming up here to the studio and hanging out when he leaves?
Uncle Ben, did you not pay attention to what comedian-edwin-douglas was saying? I have more experiences, been there, done that. So somebody got to guide him in the right direction. Uncle Ben.
Okay, Uncle Ben.
Okay, Mr. Motivator, well, be careful.
Okay, I'm gonna leave Uncle Ben.
But Mr. Motivator, any suggestions to our fellas that may need any advice on by them being older and they're dating or have a younger woman? Just a short brief.
I think that what you shared was very powerful, and the main ingredient with everything is love. And I think those that are listening, if they really want to enhance their relationship with whether an older woman or a younger woman, love is the key, and listening and understanding what women need and what they want, and that love is a big factor. That was beautiful, Edwin.
Okay, cool. Thank you. Uncle Ben, you hit it on the nail, comedian-edwin-douglas. Get on down, boy. Get it, boy. Uncle Ben. Okay, thank you, sir. Just make sure you don't be drinking on the job no more. Uncle Ben. You got my word, Uncle Ben. Okay, let's go ahead and do motivation moment. But before we do that, we're going to take a quick commercial break. Don't you guys go away too far. You heard me? This is the boy, comedian-edwin-douglas, and I am the host of Uheardme First Radio Talk Show, along with my co-host, Mr. Motivator, and I cannot forget about DJ Sidekick, Uncle Ben. Just log on Uheardme First Radio Talk Show for a new episode every Monday, 6 a.m. Central Standard Time, 7 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on iHeartRadio, Spotify.com, Spreaker.com, YouTube.com, and as well Google Podcast. And guess what? We will always be on demand. You heard me? All right, we're back. Mr. Motivator is going to do his motivation moment. Go ahead. What you got there today?
What I have for everyone today that's listening, check this out. Watch out for time wasters. Ladies and gentlemen, let me repeat that again. Watch out for time wasters. Two scriptures that really burned in my heart, that opened my eyes up to some things, and I want to share them with all of our viewers today. First one, teach us to number each of our days so that we may grow in wisdom. That's Psalms 90 and verse 12. The next scripture, and be not conformed to this world, but be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind. That's Romans chapter 12 and verse 2. What are we saying here? These scriptures provide the light of how we must be wise with our time and value it and not waste it. And watch out for people that want to rob from us our valuable time. Now, the billionaire Warren Buffett made a statement. I was listening, and he said the best investment that you can make is an investment in yourself. we have to invest in ourselves and watch out for people that want to come and destroy the investment that we've made. Now, in these two scriptures, what am I talking about? When it talks about be not conformed to this world, when you conform to the world, that means you go along with, you accept, you follow the crowd. You try to fit in with what everybody else is doing. You just go along with everybody. If everybody else does it, you do it. But when you get some knowledge, when you read the word and when you talk with wise people, then your mind becomes renewed. Renewed means that you can resume or you can return after an interruption and restart. You can reaffirm or you can reiterate because you got that knowledge. And when you get knowledge, that allows you to be transformed. See, transformed basically means to make a dramatic change. It means to reshape, to rebuild, reorganize, rearrange, revamp. And for some of us that are entertainers in our business, oftentimes it means that we need to reinvent ourselves. We got to watch out for time wasters. What is a time waster? A time waster is someone who causes you to spend a lot of time doing something that is unnecessary and does not produce any benefit. If you look around, you see a lot of time wasters. A lot of them are big talkers, but mostly they're always talking about themselves. A lot of time wasters are big procrastinators. They put off things. They always talk about things, but that's all it is, talk, because they put off everything that they talk about. Another important thing we have to watch out with time wasters is that they will distract, delay, or find something to prevent you from doing something productive in your life. Ladies and gentlemen, you got to ask yourself a question. What's holding you back? What's holding you up? What's getting in your path? Do you have a time waster in your studio? Do you have a time waster in your home visiting you? Is there a time waster attacking your life? Time wasters will give you their word, but guess what? They will stand you up. A time waster will get you excited, and when you think they're going to catch the pass and head on into the end zone, they're going to drop the ball on you every time and cause you to lose out in opportunities in life. And life is a game, folks, but it's a serious game. You can't allow a time waster to cause you to lose the game of your life. Time wasters, most often time wasters are late. Time wasters will make you late for things that are important, and a lot of them are disrespectful. A time waster will be late, won't even contact you to let you know if there's a problem, if they've been held up in an accident, because they want to waste your time. A time waster has no respect for their time nor yours. Time wasters like to linger around and do nothing. Some time wasters are liars that are neglectful about their duties because they aim to stop you from doing what you got to do. Is there a time waster in your home? Time wasters are in everybody's business except handling their own business. Check and watch out for time wasters. When you see them coming, you better figure out a strategy. Time wasters are slack, slothful. They drag their feet on purpose. Time wasters always put off what needs to be taken care of in order to block you from handling your business. Time wasters are very lazy. They're always late. Time wasters enjoy goofing off, and they like to lollygag. Another word that came to me that covers a time waster is the word lackadaisical. If you see a time waster, watch them. What is a lackadaisical person? Lackadaisical is someone that's careless. They offer carelessness. A lackadaisical person is someone that's sluggish. They're spiritless. They're passionless. They're lukewarm. They couldn't care less about anything, and they don't show any interest or enthusiasm in what they do. Most often, time wasters are nosy. They always put forth a half-hearted effort. They have no respect for other people's time. Time wasters set no goals. They have no ambition. And a lot of them usually try to live off the life of their kids. They want you to recognize them. They want to be recognized through their kids because they generally don't have no life of their own. If you check out a time waster and watch them, time wasters have no life. Their motivation is to keep everyone around them down. They repel their family, their friends. No one wants to be around a time waster. Ladies and gentlemen, you got to stay motivated and pursue your goals. You got to avoid time wasters at all costs. And I want to leave with you some tips to help you stay motivated so you can move forward in life and achieve your goals. Number one, read something 15 to 20 pages a day to expand your mind. Number two, develop a spirit of optimism. Number three, hang around productive people. Number four, set goals on a daily, weekly, yearly, and monthly basis. Number five, if you're the smartest person in your group, well, then you need to find another group to hang around with. Use the word faith. See, you got to have faith. When you got faith, you can become a risk taker. Number seven, if you are a believer, you have uncommon potential inside of you. God has given you uncommon potential, and when you spend time with yourself and you discover your passion, discover what's been placed inside you, that's when you discover your uncommon potential. But you won't make it, you won't discover that uncommon potential if you got a time waster disrupting your life. Number 8, dream big. Don't be afraid of failure. You must break out of your comfort zone. Ladies and gentlemen, that's what you got to do if you want to stay motivated and you want to move forward in life. And number 9, the last thing, think about someone you love and admire who inspired you. When I think about the people that touched my life, when things fell in on me and I was devastated and I didn't know what to do. I had a co-worker that came to me. Her name was Miss Brenda, and this co-worker said to me, Mr. Jeffrey, you're not just Mr. Jeffrey, you're Mr. Motivator, because you have something inside you that moves people. You move people with your words. There aren't many educators that can do what you do. And ladies and gentlemen, that helped me to stay motivated. It helped me to keep looking forward. See, you got to give before you ask instead of being a time waster trying to take everything from everyone. Set goals. Be who you can be. Dare to dream and live your life with purpose. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Mr. Motivator.
All right. Time waster. Man, that was, I needed that. I needed that so I can carry that into 2019 2019. I'm going to use that, man. I really appreciate you bringing in the time waster, because I had a lot of people in my circle wasted my time. Thank you, Mr. Motivator. Wow. Before we go further, I want to thank everybody, West Texas A&M alumni in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. Matter of fact, West Texas Alumni Association, West Texas A&M University, thank you for supporting You Heard Me First radio talk show every episode, and share it with the rest of the buff. BUFFS, shake your buff. I want to say thank y'all for supporting this show. Also, we got so many great things coming up 2019. I can't not spill the beans right now, but a lot of great things are happening. Also, my new comedy project, the Comedy Bible 2020 version, kicking off in 2019. And we also have a lot of great new shows, new guests coming up. I'm going to hold on to it and surprise everyone. Today's guest, Zemill, was fabulous, fantastic. I'm going to support him. Myself and him was on the same lineup 3 years ago, and he did a great job as a great performer. Yes, support that brother. And Mr. Motivator, tell everyone what you have coming up.
Well, this week, December the 8th, I will be doing some motivational speaking for the Eagles Wing Association here in Dallas. And I'm going to do some motivation, and I have a guest, and everyone's invited to come out. If you need some motivation, you need to be picked up. That's what I'm going to be doing. And later on in the month, I will be a guest at the Joy Bum Comedy Show, and I'll be doing some comedy there. And you can go to joybumcomedy.com and see where the time and the date that they will have me there. And laughter, of course, is the best medicine. And I know you, comedian-Edwin-Douglas, you know that. All comedians know laughter moves the world. Laughter causes people to think better. It releases endorphins, and that's it. And, of course, if those of you like Mr. Motivator moments, I invite you to order my book. It's called Success is an Attitude by Dwight Jeffrey. And you can go to Amazon.com and get that book, or you can Google it. And the book will help you to understand how to stay motivated, set goals, avoid time wasters, and be the person that God has created you to be. Thank you.
Now, for those who have had questions, have ideas, or want to have an idea why this show is formatted in the segment it is, allow me to explain. You Heard Me First radio talk show is a 1 hour platform that brings in real people that's going to tell real stories to entertain our listeners. See, God, everything that I'm doing here, God gave it to me. God showed me how to do it. God told me, go get Mr. Motivator. God told me to bring Uncle Ben on this show. God, we are not competing with any radio talk shows, any radio station. May God bless them. I do listen to other stations, but I am going to continue to do exactly what God has put in me. Yes, you heard our theme song. You heard me first. Also, you hear our guests sharing their testimony, sharing the things, what they have gone through, what they came out of. Yes, you hear us laughing. Yes, you hear us playing gospel music. Yes, every now and then you hear us playing jazz, old school music. So when people want to know where we're going, I'm only doing this because God showed me. God told me how to do this because he is the owner and the CEO of You Heard Me First Radio Talk Show. So when you hear me doing Relationship Monday, because God told me to do so, God told me to share it because once upon a time myself married, divorced. So when we go through things, God has a purpose in all of our lives. So keep in mind. Also, you wonder why Mr. Motivator is doing his thing, Motivation Moment. That's why he got the name Mr. Motivator, and taking it from the Bible scripture so you can understand church folk, grown folk, kin folk. Don't be tripping because You Heard Me First Radio Talk Show it's just a little bit different. Now, who said the way radio shall be? That's why comedian Edwin-Douglas is the host. That's why Mr. Motivator is the co-host. And that's why our DJ sidekick, Uncle Ben is on this show. Why? I told you the whole time I was explaining it to you because God said so. Now, I thought I'd get that out there. I had that on my mind. Now I got off my chest. But, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to let our DJ sidekick not only take us around a block, but we're going to go on a field trip. And don't forget to tune in every Monday for a new episode on Spotify.com, also YouTube, iHeartRadio as well, and you can just do Google Podcasts. Oh, once again, congratulations to the Kevin and Nikki show in Philadelphia for celebrating their 1-year anniversary. Special guest coming soon. Kevin and Nikki, they both will be on the show when we celebrate our first year anniversary, 1-year anniversary, which that would be March the 19th, 2019. That's a good number. 3/19/19. Yes. So until the next time, I'm your host, comedian Edwin-Douglas, along with my co-host, Mr. Motivator, and of course, the one and only DJ sidekick, Uncle Ben. Hey, man, take us home. Uncle Ben.
Let's go, baby, to the hole in the wall. I've had my best time, y'all. Today in the hole in the wall. 3 o'clock in the morning, all the damn clubs are closed. I went to this place, y'all, I didn't want anyone to know. I walked into the room, and my nose in the air. It's 7 in the morning, and I'm still in there. Let's go, baby, to the hole in the wall. Oh, yeah. I've had my best time, y'all. Yes, I did. In the hole in the wall. I took my high-class woman with me the next night. She didn't want to get out of the car. She said it didn't look right. She walked into the room with her nose in the air. It's 7 in the morning, y'all, and she's still in there. Small room, whiskey and chicken wings. People dancing and drinking, and no one wants to leave. Let's go, baby. Oh, yeah. To the the hole in the wall. I wanna go there. I've had my best time, y'all. Yes, I did. And the hole in the wall. I know you've heard of that before. Hey, yeah, yeah, yeah. Smoke in a room, whiskey and chicken wings, people dancing and drinking, and none of them wants to leave. Let's go, baby. Here we go to the hole in the wall. I've had my best time, y'all. It's a hole in the wall. I wanna go, baby. Here we go to the hole in the wall. I know a lot of y'all have heard of that before. It's like all the time tonight, you can hang out all night long. And I wanna go back to the hole in the wall. Somebody go with me. Let's go, baby. To the hole in the wall. I've had my best time, y'all. At the hole in the wall. Oh, yeah. 3 o'clock in the morning, all the damn clubs are closed. I went to this place, y'all. I didn't want anyone to know. Walked into the room, had my nose in the air. It's 7 in the morning, and I'm still in there. But let's go, baby, to the hole in the wall. Oh, yeah. I've had my best time, y'all. Yes, I did. In the hole in the wall. Hey, baby, do you want to go, baby? Oh, yeah. To the hole in the wall. You see, baby, I've had my best time. Oh, yeah. In the hole.
Uncle Ben, this been another great episode on You Heard Me First Radio Talk Show. You heard me? Get it, boy. Me. The hole in the wall. Uncle Ben. Peace, and may God bless you.